views on this one.
Well, can I get your name, badge number for the record?
You're stalking us right now.
Stalking?
I feel like
really?
I feel like you're stalking us.
Really?
Yeah, you show up on every call we go to. If you follow me around,
I follow you around.
I should get a restraining order on you. I should get a restraining order on you. CaliTito, what's up, man?
Right now, I want to be around you. Hurry up!
You're CaliTito, right?
What's going on, everybody? So first, I wanted to make this video to give a little backstory on my history with Sergeant Jason KIRTLAN, the Sacramento police sergeant who was featured in one of my most recent videos. And then I have an update about that video that I'm going to share with you all. Okay, so I first met Sergeant Jason KIRTLAN in Old Sacramento in April of 2021. I saw him out on a call, so I pulled up to film it. He tried to ask me where he could see my videos at, but I politely refused to tell him. A few hours later, I saw Sergeant KIRTLAN on another call. Apparently, he found out my name because he kept obnoxiously saying it as if he thought he would get a reaction out of me. Saying things like, "CaliTito, didn't take us long to figure it out, did it?" And paparazzi style. He's also saying things like, "I hope you get a ton of views on this one." Totally arrogant and condescending. So when he was done with that call, I approached him and asked for his name and badge number. He didn't say his name and just rode away, so I caught up with him and asked for his name and badge number again. At this point, Sergeant KIRTLAN started saying I was stalking him and saying that it was weird I was filming him. The second time I met him was the very next day at a protest in downtown Sacramento. Sergeant KIRTLAN was there shoving, bullying, and yelling at protesters, and even journalists and members of the National Lawyers Guild who were standing by observing the protest too. A few weeks later, I encountered Sergeant Jason KIRTLAN for a third time. He was working overtime as a security guard for the Safeway store in downtown Sacramento. Sergeant KIRTLAN tried to make me give him my ID, and I refused. He tried to make me put a mask on, and I refused. He then tried to tell me to leave the property, and again I refused, stating that I was waiting for my ride. My ride pulled up minutes later, and I left without any further incident. I could tell that it bothered Sergeant KIRTLAN that he didn't get my ID or my real name that night, because when I posted the video from that incident, he seemingly shared it with some of his friends, like a manager from that Safeway store, and also some coward named David Membria who works as a bartender at the Zebra Club bar, which is only 2 blocks away from the Safeway store I encountered Sergeant KIRTLAN at. They both then started leaving me comments on my videos, talking crap about me, and trying to defend Sergeant KIRTLAN. Alright, so that's how it all started with me and KIRTLAN. So about 3 months after that, I finally got arrested by the Sacramento Police Department, and they all shared my personal information around the whole department as if it was a trophy. So they all found out my real name, which means Sergeant KIRTLAN finally found out my real name too. So then after that, every time he saw me out filming, he would go out of his way to repeatedly say my real name on camera, being overly arrogant and obnoxious about it, just like he was when I first met him, trying to see if he can make me mad or get a reaction out of me. He kept doing that. Every time he saw me filming, he would go out of his way to say my real name repeatedly, until one day I started replying with his home address, and now ever since then, he doesn't even try to say my real name anymore. Notice how he didn't even try to say it one time in my newest video. Alright, so fast forward to this newest video. About a week or two ago, I filmed Sergeant KIRTLAN driving around in his patrol car, and I noticed there was a "Let's Go Brandon" sticker on the car. So I posted the video, and apparently some local journalist here in Sacramento watched it, and he asked the police department to comment on the sticker. The police department replied saying, quote, At this time, these incidents are being investigated as vandalism to city property. We are working to understand how these stickers were placed on our vehicles, which were immediately removed upon discovery." End quote. So, according to city policy, public resources such as city-owned police vehicles may not be used for political purposes. But, me personally, I think they're only looking into it now because they probably think that I'm the one who put the sticker on there or something. So they probably just want to see if they have the option to hit me with a charge or not. Despite that, I highly doubt anything will happen to Sergeant Kirtland. I also filmed him violating multiple California vehicle codes while driving a city vehicle on duty, rolling through stop signs without coming to a complete stop, and also completely stopping the car in the middle of the road for the sole purpose of repositioning his dash cam so that it was pointing at me, blocking the roadway to do so. If anyone else was driving that way, they would be pulled over, ticketed, possibly have their whole car searched on the side of the road, humiliated. But Sergeant Kirtland can do it no problem. So I will be taking those new videos of his vehicle code violations to his superiors, and I will be posting an update about the response to that as well.
CaliTito, man, you're on it. Paparazzi style. I hope you get a ton of views on this one.